Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk about keeping women sad and why it's important. But first, let me say thank you to everybody who's been stopping by, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, even donating. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please go ahead, click the subscribe button, click the bell notification symbol, and accept the email notifications. It'll help me grow my channel. So let me tell you what I'm talking about. Keeping women sad and why it's important. Because here's the thing. I'm working on a new theory, and it has to do with a woman's relative sexual market value to the man that she's, getting together with, and her behavior of entitlement, because there's a correlation. In other words, the more attractive that the woman is and the lower the man's sexual market value, the more bullshit he's willing to put up with. And it's related to the ideas in this video, because here's the thing. The more attractive she is, the more entitled she will feel, and the worse that she will potentially behave. And if you want to understand what's motivating this type of behavior at the most base level, it's a shit test, right? And it's a test for genetic viability of the man. She's testing if the man can overcome obstacles, if the man will give up, if the man can deal with a complete change of plans, if the man can fight, if the man can get injured and continue to work. And each one of these things, she's saying, well, what if I'm pregnant? What if we're building a family and this guy has to get in a fight with another man? What if we're, doing this and the whole business shuts down and he has to restart and do a new business? Is he able to? So she's constantly putting these tests out there. And the more attractive she is, the higher her sexual market value, the higher her genetic value is, the more demanding that she's going to be, the more tests that she's going to put out there. Now, what happens if she's just a big fat moo-moo misandric land whale? You'd think that she would know that she can't put any tests out there. Like if the guy says, look, I'm willing to take you out on a date and I'm going to take you to McDonald's and I'm going to buy you a Happy Meal, that she's supposed to say, thank you, I would really appreciate it. That sounds like a great time. But she doesn't, does she? And women in general, feminists are generally not attractive women. These are elderly women. These are out-of-shape women. These are women that men generally will not approach. And these are the women that are luring and converting the younger, attractive women. But an attractive woman has no use for feminism. It's retarded. It's like, no, I'll just get together with some decent guys, and if they're nice and, she'll continue to hang out and things like that. So it's the woman who's not getting any sort of male attention, male favors, that says men are pigs. Honestly, look at fitness models, right? Look at people who are working out and stuff like that. I think you can tell just by the expressions on their face, even though it's like, professional model and things like that. No, but you can tell that these are agreeable people. You know what I mean? These are friendly, agreeable people that you can approach with, most any reasonable interaction, and they're fine with it. Hi, how you doing? It's like, great, how are you? As opposed to the feminists. So it's this very interesting phenomenon, okay, that you would see this behavior from an elderly, non-sexually viable, unattractive woman. There's no reason to placate her. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like you can understand why the man is jumping through some hoops for the very, very attractive younger woman, right? Because he wants to build a future with her. But what if Angela Merkel is unhappy? What does it matter? What difference does it make if Angela Merkel isn't happy, right? And then she's going to step forward and lay out this guilt trip about here's the right thing to do, like she's your mother. I once had a debt that I didn't want to pay. I felt it was unjust. It was, in my opinion. And I wasn't going to pay it. And I was getting a call from a collection agency. And the first call I got was from a very aggressive man, all right? And he was demanding that I pay. And that to him, men that don't pay their debts, he just beats them up, right? He just won't have anything to do with them, because it's unmanly. And I explained to him that I really didn't give a damn, and I still wasn't going to pay the bill. So that was it. About a week later, I get another call, same place, right? This time it's from a young woman, right? And she tells me, just collecting on the same debt. I tell her, no, I'm not going to pay it. She tells me that she could never respect a man who doesn't pay his debts. Right? She only goes out with men who pay their debts. So, I listen to all that for a little while, and then I tell her, doesn't matter, still not paying the bill. About a week later, I get another call, same place. This time it's an old lady, okay? Like an old motherly type, And she's like, I only respect the boys. I raised my boys to pay their bills and blah, blah, blah. Right? And by this time, I knew that they were attempting to play me, at every step of the way. But it was just fascinating how they were willing to appeal to these various aspects of my emotions. Aggressive, hostile, intimidation didn't work. The sexual shaming didn't work. Then the, motherly affection and respect for women didn't work. So how is it that someone like Angela Merkel, how is it that any elderly feminist isn't simply just being laughed right off the screen, Like they go onto a news program and they say, this is what I believe, this is what I want. Why doesn't everybody just look at them and say, yeah, well, that's great, but, nobody wants to go out with you. So, sorry, it's, it's not a real issue. It's not like there's a crack in the dam and we need to fix it. Like nobody's laughing at that. This is more like, I want the dam to be, 10 feet higher over here so that I can feel more secure. And it's like, well, nobody cares about you feeling secure, Angela, right? But if an attractive, 20-year-old woman is like, I'm a little uncomfortable here, it's like, well, what can we do to help you out? So somewhere along the line, the man transfers this kind of pursuing of the female down to this, other level where it applies to all women. And I was taking some public transportation once, and this is actually a kind of recurring theme that I encounter from time to time in certain areas and under certain circumstances. And, there was a woman, and she wasn't like drunk or on drugs. She was just like a complete idiot. She was a foreign woman, and she was just wandering around. She wasn't even smart enough to sit down, as the bus was moving and stuff. So she's now falling all over the place. And it was just this like level of ignorance and lack of awareness to the world around her and to her own place in it. And you could tell it was like, no, I'm a mother and I'm entitled to be like this. So it's like, if you're like a young doctor, brain surgeon who's looking after elderly people, you've got to give up your seat on the bus for this woman who doesn't speak the language, who's on welfare, who has 8 kids, and none of them are being properly taken care of. And neither, she won't even take care of herself properly. You know what I mean? So we've somehow created this circumstance where a good, noble, decent, hardworking citizen that happens to be a man has no value and has no real rights. And some woman from another country who's just exploiting and causing damage, it's like, oh, well, you have to hold the door open for her. You have to give your seat over to her. And what I'm suggesting is I can understand why the young man might give his seat over to an attractive young woman that he wants to get together with. I can understand why he would do it, right? And I can understand why she would act like an entitled princess. I can understand. I'm not saying I go along with it. And, the wise thing for the man to do would be to recognize what she's doing and then to use that to keep her sad and yet reasonably happy. In other words, if a child says, I want a motorcycle, right? Like a 12-year-old boy says, I want a motorcycle. And you could just buy it for him and give it to him, right? It's no problem. But is that the right thing to do? Of course not, right? He's not ready for a motorcycle. And secondly, he hasn't earned anything. So the answer is no, why don't you get yourself a bike? And the kid's like, okay, fine, get me a bike. And it's like, no, why don't you get yourself a bike? And the kid's like, well, because I don't have the means to do so. I don't have any money. And it's like, that's right. You don't. Why don't you earn some money, right? The kid's like, well, why don't you just buy it for me? And the answer is no, I'm not going to just give it to you to make you shut up. And the kid's, well, okay, I don't have access to the money. Right? So you as a parent or, I don't know, an older sibling are like, okay, well, why don't you do some work? And they can't get what they want. So they earn some money, but they can't get the brand new $700 bike that they want, right? They're going to have to get a used bike for, $75 or $100. And they're going to have to maybe do some, repairs here and there, okay? So I'm not going to say that the person's necessarily happier with the lower quality bike that they've had to work so hard for, but rather they have to earn what they value. And the thing that they value, assuming that it has some sort of value, They have to learn to exchange value for it. So imagine if you gave the kid the bike, and now he wants a car, and now he wants a business, and now he wants a family, and now he wants a future, and now he wants a legacy, and now he wants a place in history. Okay? You can't give those things to people. They have to develop the ability to do and to get those things. So by giving him the bike, by giving him the car, by giving him the job, you've destroyed his ability to be effective in life. Once there's nobody there to give him anything, he's getting nothing. And this is what I'm talking about with the women, okay? And with the attractive woman, you can understand why the men are doing it and society and culture is doing it. But why on earth are we doing it with the unattractive women, right? You can understand their entitlement and why they, complain the most. Anyway, I'm still working on the theory. I'm going to leave it at that for now. Let me know what you think about it in the comments section below. And please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, because that's the only way, men are getting by here on YouTube is through voluntary contributions from you, the subscribers. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Check this out. If every one of my subscribers just gave $1 a month, just $1 a month, man, I would be happy. I'd have like $27,000 a month. That would be so awesome, wouldn't it? My God, what would you do with that kind of money? Well, I'd definitely buy a car. I would definitely get some dental work done. I would probably move. I would probably move. Not that I really dislike my place, but, hey, it could be better, right? And I'm not talking about anything extravagant or anything like that. What else would I do? I know somebody that I would put into a nursing home. I'd put them into some, an elderly friend that I would get some decent care for. And then after that, I would just want to build up like a business, like a MGTOW channel that could reach out and to help other men. So there'd be a few things on my end that I would indulge that I've always wanted, but not much. I'm old enough to where, something like that wouldn't destroy me. You know what I mean? It's like, here's $1 million. It's like, what do I care? Like, I'm still going to do exactly what I did the day before. Maybe I'll get my French fries supersized. It's like, go ahead and supersize it. So that's what I would do with all that money. Oh, yeah, let me say this though, okay? Most of you guys, when I'm talking about stuff like this, you're exempt from giving me any sort of a donation or anything like that. I know that, okay? Because I was in that same place. Like, if you don't have money and you're not getting ahead in this world, nobody, I'm not looking for you to, donate anything. I'm looking for you to take the information here, not waste time here, and to use it to build yourself up and to make yourself strong in the world. That's what I want you to do. I don't want you to donate. You understand? I want you to keep your money and I want you to make yourself strong. And by keeping your money, you give yourself a little bit more security. You give yourself a little bit more of a cushion, so you don't have to be worried and stressed out all the time. So don't donate to me under those circumstances. But if you are large and in charge and you are commanding, everything around you, like the alpha, then you need to consider that the things that you value need your support. Otherwise, they're going to fall by the wayside, and the lower quality value things that you don't value are going to replace them. So it eventually does become a moral and ethical decision in kind of like living out your values. Okay, but it's all voluntary. You know what I mean? It's something you decide you want to do. That's the beauty of capitalism. So don't ever let anybody tell you that, money is evil. It's not. It's how we exchange the work that we do. And it's a great thing. It's a great tool that allows us to build up and to exchange resources and time and money and things that we value. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. Let me know what you think about it. Comment section below. Like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, and join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.